of the Mississauga Steelheads in Zakary Lavoie, who was drafted 7th overall at the 2020 OHL Priority Selection. Zach, how's it going? How's life?
I mean, obviously it's not ideal. Quarantine is I wish it could be over, tomorrow, but it's not going to happen. So I'm just doing the most I can right now. Doing good, but could be better.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that things aren't super ideal right now, but hopefully on the upswing. Are you at least enjoying all the snow and some of the cold weather?
There's not much to do. I try to stay at home as much as possible, right? So, sometimes I'll have to shovel the driveway or, do some things around the house, but after, nothing too much. So.
Well, I had to bring up the snow only because I know you're in the lovely city of Ottawa right now, and I used to live there. So I loved living there, but I also know how intense the winters can be. So you mentioned you've been shoveling, kind of staying home as much as possible, which is great. Is there anything interesting you've been doing to kind of pass the time right now?
I'm pretty busy with school, other than that, TV shows, video games with the friends, I'm working out. My trainer gave me a plan for at home, so I'm doing that. Just doing as much as I can right now just to keep me entertained.
Yeah, well, you mentioned working out and kind of leads into my next question. How are you kind of making the most of this extra time and all this extended off season in terms of staying hockey ready?
With my trainer, like I said, my trainer gave me a plan, so I'm doing that. Before Christmas, I was fortunate enough to join the Ottawa Junior Sens, and I was able to get a couple games in there before the shutdown. And, so I got to play a bit. So that was fun. Now just working out, working on conditioning and strength and just keeping my abilities as high as possible. Other than that, just enjoying myself and the time I have right now before the season.
Well, it's definitely been a while since we last spoke, but kind of thinking back all the way back to April, yeah. You received a lot of texts that morning when you did get drafted by the Steelheads. So definitely a very exciting, maybe overwhelming moment for you. But now that we're all these months later, has the feeling really sunk in yet?
That's a good question. I don't think it has fully sunk in. I'm still missing the experience of being, there and with the players and around that environment that the OHL creates. It's definitely started to sink in, but not, fully sunk in yet.
I guess when you finally get to hit the ice, it'll all become more real, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, first things first, I think the thing that stands out most about you, you love scoring goals. You are a goal scoring machine, 51 goals, 35 assists in 68 games with the Toronto Nationals last year. So when it comes to making an immediate impact in Mississauga, is your goal scoring ability what you would say is your biggest strong suit?
I would definitely say it's one of my strongest abilities, but on the ice, I think there's other things. I can play a 200-foot game. I can still pass the puck. I can do whatever the coach needs me to do. So when I come to Mississauga, that's what I'm going to do.
Ready to take on this versatile role, right?
Yeah. Whatever my coach needs me to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, speaking of your coach, James Richmond described you as a player that they had coveted all season long last year. What's it like to just have all this excitement around you, and how does it feel to be a key piece of this team moving forward?
It feels great, to be honest. As a kid growing up in Ontario, it's a dream to play in the OHL, and I was fortunate enough to get drafted by in the OHL and then into a great organization. So just wearing that jersey and representing that organization as a whole is just an amazing feeling.
And again, thinking back to when you were drafted in April and when you were receiving all those texts, who from the Steelheads organization reached out to you? Did any of the players reach out to you? Did you get to hear from anyone exciting?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I know a lot of players reached out and the coaches reached out, and I think a couple of people in the organization reached out. So like it was an amazing moment. And I couldn't tell you who exactly, but I just, because it was so overwhelming that I don't remember a thing.
Probably a little bit of a blur still, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I know you can't meet up right now, and I assume everyone's kind of been keeping touch via Zoom, via phone call. What has the communication been like with the team, and how have you been able to really establish that team bond?
It's been great. There's been a couple team meetings. The coaches are texting me, just making sure I'm doing all right, and they've been checking on me for school, for in the gym, whatever I'm doing on the ice. So it's been really great. I just, now I can't wait to go in person and actually be there with them. But, it's been great.
Have there been any, I don't know, team exercises, or I guess workout plans just to keep everyone in line, keep everyone ready?
Not really. We'll have this team meeting here and there, and we chat a bit. They tell the coaches and the general managers and the people in those positions tell us what they have to tell us, and then the boys just talk for a bit, and then we all go on our own.
Have there been any maybe team exercises, any homework, any specific workout plans to stick to that have come directly from the coaching and the organization?
Not really. They know that they told us what we have to do, and they want us to be ready when we come there. So that includes strength training, conditioning, just being prepared for the season whenever it arrives. So we've been doing that. So I'd say that's about it.
And of course, speaking online isn't exactly the same thing as, getting to know someone in person, but are there any teammates and players that you've really kind of built up a close friendship with so far? Is there anyone who's kind of taken you under their wing and someone you're really looking forward to learning more from?
I'd say, so people that I want to learn from are Thomas Harley, obviously great defenseman, played in the World Juniors this past World Junior. Cole Schwint, who great player, and also had was at the camp there for the World Juniors. And lastly, Keen Washarak. He's won multiple awards for hardest worker. So I'm looking forward to learning from these guys, and hopefully going for a championship with these guys.
Definitely a good group of guys with lots of elite talent and hard workers, as you said. So this next question is a bit of a tough question, but I'm wondering, is there anyone you're really looking forward to playing against, whether that's a former minor midget teammate, someone you played against in the GTHL, or just someone you've really admired in the OHL?
I'm really excited to play Shane Wright from the Kingston Frontenacs. Obviously, he's a generational talent, best 04 on the planet for sure. I look at him because I went to school with him a couple of years ago. So when I was there, I looked up to him, and he works hard every day, and that's what I try to mimic. And looking at what he does on the ice, it's just insane. So I'm very excited to play against him.
Awesome. So looking at the steps you've taken over the past few months here, both on and off the ice, what would you say are the biggest steps you've taken to prepare for your rookie season whenever the puck drops?
Just working out I gotta, work out every day, and, do my conditioning, like I said, and that's going to get me prepared for when I hit the ice. And, obviously there's been periods of time where I've been able to get on the ice. So that's been pretty fun. And I've been able to be around, older players and players from the OHL and, professional leagues. So that's been very great. With that said, I haven't been on the ice in a while. So, it'd be great to get back out there, but, just waiting on the season now.
Perfect. So now we're going to give everyone a little more insight into the type of player you are. Just some fun facts. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to hit you with some quick questions. Sound good?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Start with a different one. How excited are you to live and play in Mississauga?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to represent the organization on the ice and, play in front of the fans and, and then enjoy the city, the great city of Mississauga. There's also Toronto right there and Oakville and all the cities around it that are very nice. So I'm very excited to, be there and play in front of the fans too.
I mean, you're used to Toronto anyway. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we spoke a little bit about this already, but in your own words, describe yourself as a player.
I'm a player that likes to score goals. I love to score goals actually. And then I can still play a 200-foot game and pass the puck well. So I'd say, I'd still say my strongest, skill would be shooting the puck.
Perfect. What is your favorite minor hockey memory?
My favorite minor hockey memory was last year when we won the Titans early bird tournament. We got into the finals and we were playing against, the big team that was supposed to win. And I wasn't playing that game. Unfortunately, I got injured the game before, but my teammates, pulled it off, and we had a lot of fun that tournament. So that was probably the best memory I have from minor hockey.
It's definitely a good one. Kind of a lead into the next question, but if you had to choose, I know it's a tough question, who has been your favorite minor hockey coach?
I've had a lot, they've been all, really good. They've all taught me something that I still have to this day. But the notable ones would be Fred Beauchemin from the Gloucester Rangers. I don't know what year it was, but he taught me how to use my love for the game, to push myself and to get better every day. And the other one would be Jared DeFazio. That was Ottawa Junior 67s. He really he taught me how to bring my game to the next level and how to, change, how to change myself into a better player and not just be a goal scorer. But even though I can do that, I can do other things than that.
Definitely. Sounds like you've gotten to learn from a lot of great people, and they've all kind of strengthened you in a different way, like you said. So it's awesome. All right. Next question. What is your pregame meal?
My pregame meal is chicken and pasta. I think that's a pretty general pregame meal for anyone that plays hockey, but I love it. So I'm not going to change it.
Everyone seems to pick chicken and pasta. Definitely makes sense. Do you have a favorite style of pasta?
I like spaghetti or, penne, anything. I like anything, honestly. So whatever works for me. Fair
enough. All right. Tell us what your nickname is. Some people have several nicknames, but if you have any nicknames that have kind of stuck with you over the years, tell us what they are and what the stories are behind them.
Well, I have Zach, which is short for Zakary. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The other one is Lavie, which is short for Lavoie. And some people can't say Lavoie, so they just Lavie's easy, and it's just, it's stuck with me.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. We talked about your pregame meal. Maybe you can expand on that and tell us about your pregame ritual.
Pregame ritual. So it actually starts before my pregame meal. I get home from school, I'll just take a nap, quick 30-minute. I don't want to take a nap that's too long. So I'll take a nap. I'll do a bit of homework just to get my mind going. And then once it gets closer to, the meal time, I'll eat the chicken and pasta. And then I go through a whole routine where I pack my bag. I have, certain times where I do certain things and then, make my way to the rink. And from there on, I just get ready, for my body.
All right. So once your ritual is kind of wrapped up, you're at the rink, you're getting ready. What would be your go-to music for the locker room?
I don't have a go-to music. I just listen to whatever is playing on the speaker, and I just, music doesn't really affect me that much. So I just, whatever works for me.
Okay, so generally not the guy with the playlist in the room. Kind of just go with whatever everyone else wants to play. Because some people are super particular about the type of music they listen to, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, what is the OHL arena you're most looking forward to playing in outside of your home arena?
Definitely Ottawa, because growing up in Ottawa, I've watched the 67s growing up, and just all the history behind it, and I've gotten to practice on there once before, so now I can play a game there. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun to play against in front of my hometown, and all my family and my friends are gonna be there. So that's probably the one I'm most excited about.
So, well, you kind of took the words out of my mouth a bit, because I was the next question I was going to ask is, I mean, growing up watching those Ottawa 67s games, how much did that kind of play into this dream that you've had of being drafted to the OHL? And now that you've kind of come full circle and you will be playing against Ottawa soon, how crazy is all that?
It's no words can describe it, because I've always, when I was young, I would watch them and I'd be like, these guys are really good at hockey, and these guys are, they're close to making it to the NHL, and that's what I've always wanted. And and now that I'm here, it's surreal.
Is there a particular memory you have growing up watching the 67s play on Bank Street that really sticks out among the others? Is there a player you really enjoyed watching growing up? Is there a game that sticks out, a playoff series? What comes to mind first when you think of all those memories?
I remember one year I was watching it on TV, and they had different jerseys, and I always thought, having an alternate jersey was really cool. So I was watching the game, and I'm like, I think I texted my parents. I'm like, these guys have different jerseys. That's so cool. And I just, it was funny. I was young, and
yeah. When you're young, the jerseys really stand out, right? You always want to wear the cool jerseys. Always remember the cool jerseys. And I have to ask, and I'm going to ask this because I lived in Ottawa for 10 years, and I can't not ask it, but how many afternoons consisted of going to watch the 67s on a Sunday afternoon and then skating on the Rideau Canal?
Countless. I can't even tell you how many times I've done that. If I wasn't at hockey, that's probably what I was doing. So, I've done that multiple times.
Classic Ottawa kid. Okay. And this is kind of a nice lead in to my next question, but is there an NHL player that you really looked up to growing up? Is there an NHL player you look up to now? Is there an OHL player you kind of model your game after?
I look up to Pasternak or Alex Ovechkin. Both like to score goals. Pasternak maybe might like less of a goal scorer, but I look up to those guys for what they do on the ice and how they move and stuff like that. But also Shane Wright in the OHL. I just, we're not the same style of player, but I look at him and what he does, like how he shoots or the way he skates. I look up to that and how hard he works. I try to mimic that as much as possible.
Yeah, you did mention Shane Wright. That's definitely a good player to look up to. And last question I had for you is, what is the significance behind your number?
I know. So I'm a Habs fan. So not a lot of people in Ottawa like me, but it is what it is. So when I was growing up, there's Alex Kovalev played for them, and that same summer I played with his son during spring hockey, and I guess the number stuck with me, throughout the years. And if 27 isn't available, I'll pick 19, but 27 is definitely my first choice.
Did you guys make the drive up to Montreal often? To the Bell Center?
Yeah. It was every time I could, because of hockey, it was very limited, but when I could go, we would go, and we'd have a blast at the Bell Center. And obviously we always had that one restaurant we would go to, and it was fun.
It's a nice tradition, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Zach. It's been a pleasure. I really hope you're keeping well, staying safe, staying healthy, and hopefully get to see you on the rink soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.